quite sure. Oh, there we are, we're back. Periscope has been wonky for me and I apologize. Let's just hope it lasts through this practice, just to give you an idea of what inversions are. So we're gonna make this warm up shorter than we should, just in the essence of time. So from our forward fold, I invite you to sit up tall again, finding that length in your spine. Maybe this time we're gonna just begin to deepen our breath by taking a very deep inhale, holding it at the top, and then forcing it out in that lion's breath, or just pushing the air out, whichever way you prefer. Maybe we'll just sit and take 3 cleansing breaths, sitting up tall, engaging our core. And on the in-breath, maybe thinking of a word that's your intention. Love, kindness, compassion, connection. And on the out-breath, just letting go anything that doesn't support your intention. On the third breath, we'll repeat. And letting it all go. And then from here, since we're going to do inversions and we need our core strength, we're just going to lay back upon our mat and just do a little teeny tiny bit of core warm up. You can start on the floor in a normal sit-up position, and this time only come and just do the top half of your sit-up. Just do little baby crunches. You can do as many as you'd like, fast or slow as you like. We're just going to warm up that core and get those core muscles to start to engage, because in an inversion, your core is what's going to keep you up. It's going to hold you in place. It's going to make you be strong and fortified, as if you're standing in tree or mountain on the earth. Instead, you're doing it on your head or hands. And also for this inversion practice, when we start playing around with it and modifying, if you have any eye issues like glaucoma, don't go upside down. Stop at legs up the wall and just hang out. If you don't have any underlying health issues and going upside down is okay, follow along. Now from here, we're just going to add in a full body stretch. And then really, once we start firing and engaging our core, we're not going to stretch out those muscles. Right now, we're just starting to warm up. So we're just going to borrow from like Pilates, just like roll up, sit up. Keeping your arms above your head, bringing them into the ceiling. Bringing your arms forward, your head and trunk and shoulders off the floor in a full body stretch. This way we're going to warm up the entire body quickly. We're going to engage our core. We're going to start firing everything. And as you go up and down, do it with very slow, controlled movement. And normally, when you would do an inversion, they would probably come at the end of a practice. Like if you're in the Ashtangi, it's towards the very end when you go upside down and hold it. I believe, is it 30 breaths? I forget, and I apologize. I have not practiced my full Ashtanga in a long time, and I'm trying to reinvent that. And then, let's do something fun on blocks. So another way to warm up your abs and core, and give you a little bit of sense of balance and start engaging all those muscles, put your blocks on your mat like a little baby balance beam. And then you're going to sit upon the top of your blocks. Lay back down to do your crunches. You can have your feet out straight or bent. And then from here, have the top block about your shoulder blades. Now you're on a balance beam. Now do those same crunches. And observe, what muscles do I really need to fire now beyond my core to hold me in place? What's stabilizing me? Am I a little fearful of falling off these blocks? Even though it's not very far to fall. But what if I do stumble and fall? And that's okay. You just get back up and you just get on again. And then from here, we're just going to do the low end of a sit-up, or the legs. You can bring your legs to the ceiling. Maybe do a couple huddle of your feet, bending and straightening, intuitive movement. Continue to wake up those quads and those hamstrings and your hips. Maybe you can do a little bit of yogi bicycles here. Drawing them in and out. Your legs. adding your top on or not, the top body or not. Just wherever you're needing today. Just try not to stretch back out your abs by like flinging your head back down. Just have it up and held and engaged, because you're going to want your core strong. And then maybe you want to just continuing with those toe taps, raising and lowering, working on your lower abs, waking them up. And then when you feel like you've worked your core and it's starting to talk to you, and you may need more ab work, and that's okay. You can just do traditional sit-ups, you can do bicycles, you can hold a plank, you can do hip, let's do them, they're fun. You can do plank and touch your hips for a little bit of rotation too. So you would just be in a forearm plank, hold it, how many ever breaths you want, and then rotate side to side your hips. Arms up your back and your spine. There's so many warm-ups you can do for your core. Now when you go down, don't do as I did. I just stretched out my core by Spanx. You want to just go down flat and then keep your muscles engaged. Come back up to sitting up. And then we're going to start our very first version of an inversion. The simplest inversion would be legs up the wall. And if you're a yogi or a kid that's done it before, everybody's pretty much done it. You'll find your wall and you'll lay on your back, and literally as it sounds, you will put your legs up the wall. And you'll want your rear as close to the wall as possible. Whoops. And then you can just lay here. And this is an inversion. Your feet are above your head. And for anybody with a medical issue with their eyes or a heart rate, don't do anything beyond this. You can just hop off and come back tomorrow and we can play again. If inversions are safe for you, we're going to move on. For some people though, this hurts their low back, their sacrum. You can take your yoga blanket, you can slide it underneath you for a little bit of cushion, and that might help. Or you can even slide it underneath your shoulder blades for a little bit of cushion. Whatever contact point is annoying you, you can slide that blanket underneath. Now legs up the wall, you can build onto it or you can just stay here. You can add a little bit of flexibility into your practice, playing with your leg position. So going out wide, back together. You could even do anything with your feet. You could do it this way too. Curling into that yogic ball, walking your feet back up, yogic ball, walking your feet back up, opening and closing, but actually we would be dragging upon the wall. It's just, I don't have a full wall. Or you could even stop at a staying point and grab a block or a bolster. And I don't have one, but we'll pretend that if I can reach, just lay it there. And just work on opening up those inner thighs. And then wherever you're at with your version of legs up the wall, we're going to move on, just for the essence of time. So you can play with those positions all day long. You can sit and read a book or watch TV and just do legs up the wall. It's really relieving. It's a good stress relieving pose. So then the next version of an inversion would be crow. And crow is a flying position. And you see it a lot, or really people on Instagram are like, they love to fly, they love to take pictures, and it can be beautiful. It can be silly, you can crash. But there's different levels of crow. You don't have to fly on your hands to have crow. You can do crow on your back and just be fine with it, and you're still getting the benefit of an inversion. So let's do it on our back first. You're gonna lay on your back, feet on the earth. Then bring your knees up to the ceiling. Push your shins parallel to the ceiling as if you're sitting in a chair on your back. You're going to engage that core. You're going to root your hips down into the earth, root your shoulder blades into the earth. Raise your hands above your head Then you're going to flip your palms to the ceiling, and then you're going to begin to bring your fingertips to the mat, like by your ears. So put yourself in that position. And then eventually you're going to curl up, reaching your elbows, if you can see, to your knees, or your triceps to your knees. And then keep your hands up, elevated. This is crow on your back. Hold it, breathe, let go. Keeping your core engaged through this whole practice so we don't lose that strength. Flip over. Now we're going to do crow from our feet. In crow, you don't even have to fly. You can have everything on the ground and you will still be in crow. The first way we're going to do it is just feeling the motion of what crow looks like. We're also going to bring the earth up to us by using our props. Coming down into a version of Malasana, your Malasana, putting your hands on your blocks in front of you, and then finding that same thing. So when I was upside down, the ceiling now is the floor. Putting my hands on the blocks, having that same bend in my elbow. So this can happen in the end. And you can start here first, and then push with effort the backs of your triceps into your knees with effort, and maybe push up, literally push your rear up and just lift. Just work on little baby lifts. Engage your core. This time you're going to round your spine to help your rear lift, but still look forward. Don't look down, because if you look down, you'll do a somersault. You'll knock yourself off balance. And that's enough. That's just to give you the feel of crow, which would be flying. Or you can do the opposite. You can start by stepping on the blocks, aligning them, standing up tall, engaging that core, coming down, starting like in your version of your Malasana. And then here, if the dog gets out of the way, you'll take that same thing, put your palm to the floor, find that connection. Some people will do it triceps, some people will do it elbows, some people will literally wrap their inner thighs around the outsides of their tricep shelf. You're going to round that spine and engage that core and lift your rear, which is going to put more weight in your hands. But try not to curl like this, because you saw right there, I was going to be able to flip over to a somersault really easy. So if you're still somehow balancing between engaging your core, lifting, and yet not flipping yourself over in a somersault, it's like a delicate balance, like a teeter-totter. So that's just the motion. That's the top half of crow. You're flying. Still connected to the ground. Okay, and then you can try it without any props. Get rid of our props. Stand up tall, engage our core. Find our little version of Malasana. Put our hands to the earth. Find where your triceps connect with your knees for that little shelf. And then lift, 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 lean and lift. Leaning forward, don't look back because we're not going that way. And maybe popping one foot up. And then coming down, whoops. And then that's it. And then maybe doing the same thing. Hands to earth, knees to triceps or outside of the triceps. And then lean, 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 and lifting the other leg up. And then down. And then maybe you just want to keep playing with that. You just want to pick up one foot, then the other, one foot, the other. And then maybe eventually one day, all of a sudden, you just pop up. And you're like, oh, I'm flying, I'm in crow. And it's a beautiful thing. And if you never pop up, you never get there, it doesn't matter. Yoga is always your practice, your journey. It will be different each day you do it. And that's it. That's all. It's just different. You just move on and keep going and laugh at yourself and have a good time. So that's crow. So it's been a while, I must admit, and I am not warm. The other rule of yoga is you shouldn't do poses like this when you're not warm, because you don't want injury or hurting yourself or others. You want to be able to just fly. You can do little hops like that even. Now, I made the fatal mistake of wearing leggings that are slippery. So honestly, when you're doing flying poses and inversions like this, it's easier if you're on bearskin to bearskin because you have a little bit more friction, I guess the word is. Unless you're in a hot class and you're sweating to death and you're really, really sliding all over the place. But you'll know, you'll feel it. Just honor your body, don't be lazy. And then you just keep playing. And right now I'm just worried about crashing on the dog. So that's the other thing, with inversions, you have to get out of your head. You gotta get out of that mind chatter. You just gotta just have faith and just go for it. And whatever happens, happens. So if I crash on the dog, I crash on the dog, right? We just won't have any vet bills. We'll just fly. I have a little baby kickstand right now because I'm still in my head. But that's one inversion right there. Then after that, there's a bunch of inversions off of crow. You can do side crow, you can do one-legged crow, you can do all kinds of crazy flying crows. But if you get down the basic crow, you can just add on so many more positions for your inversions. And then, let's see. Another inversion would be, another fun one, is a play on crow. Well, and it's also a play on headstand. So, maybe I'll do it after headstand, just because I kind of got to know how to do a headstand, I think, first, before we actually do like a one-legged crow with an inversion, but a modification that anybody can get into. So let's do our next inversion, and our next inversion would be headstand. And headstand is basically mountain on your head, if you think about it. And you want to have that same control of your abs, and you don't ever want to fling yourself up into it. But you can just do it and break down little baby steps. You don't have to just pop right up into headstand and be there. You can just do these little drills and strengthen your body, and eventually you'll just pop up one day and you're like, wow, this is totally cool. Or I totally hate it and I never want to do it again. So for headstand, for the very first thing you're going to do is we're just going to get the sense of where our head should even be on the mat. You don't want to have the very, very top of your head on the mat. That crushes down your neck and your spine, and it's kind of painful. You want to use the crown of your head, and everybody's crown is the same. It's weird, right? We're all individuals, but it's the same. Take this part of your hand, put it at the bridge of your nose, lay it across your forehead, and take your big finger and point right there. So that is the crown of my head. That is going to be the point of contact that we're having on the mat. And you want to just stay as straight as you can on it. When you're in an inversion, don't look around. Don't bend your neck. Unless you're falling, then tuck your chin and do a somersault. Everybody can remember how to do a somersault when we're children. Other than that, keep your eyes fixed, your head fixed, your gaze fixed, and your core in tight. And then you shouldn't be able to hurt your neck that way, hopefully. And then if you're curious about doing headstand, we don't even have to get up right away. Let's just break it down like we did with crow. So we're going to start by just standing up and then coming down to our version of Malasana. And this time, instead of having these contact points here, our contact point is going to be the crown of our head. So let's just go down to our knees even. And then you're going to just play around with placing your head on the mat. You may have never felt like that before, because you may not go upside down. Like, why on earth would we go upside down unless we're a kid in the playground, right? And so rabbit actually is a really good beginning prep for headstand, because if you're in child's pose, and then you extend it where your arms are reaching long, and then you pop up under that crown of your head and arch your back and engage your core, that's kind of what it's going to feel like when you're upside down on the mat. That's the point of contact with your head you're going to need. And that's rabbit. So you can come out of your rabbit. Oh, one other caveat. If you are upside down for a very long time, don't do what I just did and fling yourself up, because you can make yourself dizzy. And being dizzy is not so fun sometimes. Come up slowly, have your chin to your chest, then stabilize, then raise your gaze, and then move on. Little point of trivia there. So we're going to practice again where we want our head on the mat, but this time not even in rabbit, just by taking our hands, putting them anywhere behind us so we can see all 10 fingers at all times. And then coming up to the crown of our head and just laying our head on the mat. Staying here. Just feeling that. Rooting your hands into the earth. Stabilizing your core. Begin to engage your traps, your triceps, your biceps. These are all things that we're going to use when we eventually do go up. So it's all about stabilizing those muscles that help hold us in place. And another prop we could technically use for handstand would be, would be blocks. So I don't have enough blocks with me, but we'll start that way first. So with blocks, you're gonna, no, I'll show you blocks at a different time. I don't have enough blocks. You would use the wall and blocks to assist you, and it's a good beginner headstand if you're trying to work on getting up and having confidence. But for now, we're just gonna do it on the mat without props. The other prop would be putting a block between your legs, working on this, bringing your legs in, this strength here and stability here, stabilizing your core. It'll help you stay up longer. But for now, we're just breaking them down the very, very beginning steps. So we have our head on the ground. We have our core engaged. We're beginning to fire all the supporting muscles. And then from here, you just want to maybe lift your knees up. Keep your feet on the ground. Keep your hands on the ground. Keep all 10 fingers where you can see them and see all your toes. And stay here. This is an inversion. This is headstand. You're just not lifting your feet off the ground. Return your knees to the earth. Pause in child's pose. Come up slowly. And then bring your head up last. And hopefully you're not dizzy. Now let's do that again and repeat. And this is super accelerated. So you can take any part of this and slow it down and really just play. This is just a little bit of a accelerated play on inversions. Just don't want to take too much of our time right now. So maybe take a deep breath and ground and settle. Then we're going to find your version. Do you want to just stay in that low malasana? Do you want to actually fold forward and put your crown or your head on the earth and just stay there? Do you want to keep building on? If you want to keep building on, we're going to stay down with our head down, come to our feet, tips of our toes, lift our rear up as if we're pushing up into down dog. This time you're going to walk your feet in towards your chest. Have all 10 fingers and toes where you can see them. And this is going to start to feel, you're going to start as you walk in, start to feel your hips lift. And just hold it here. And that will help you when you begin to get up all the way. Come back down, child's pose, chin to chest, rolling it up slowly. Don't get dizzy. And then we're up. And then from there, you can work on lifting one foot at a time. And then that's how you're going to learn how to not really kick in and fling in, but with control go up. You can either do a knee to a chest or straight-legged. And that is your own personal preference, your own hip flexion, your own strength of your core. How do you actually get up? And it is also best to do it in a yoga studio if you have someone spot you or someone assist with that leg, so you're not just flinging it about in space. You can actually find your way up and be spotted and be safe. But for now, we'll just pretend like I was spotted, or we'll pretend that I'm going to have the strength to even get up, because I have not pressed up God forever into a headstand. It's my favorite thing to do. So here again, we're going to find our version. You can stop at whatever version you want. You could have been in legs up the wall this whole time, and it's an amazing pose to get rid of fight or flight, to bring you back to balance, to rest that heart rate, to get all that inflammation out of your body because your feet are above your head. It's a very therapeutic pose, so even hanging out with me, just the legs up the wall, is very beneficial. So our next inversion of the headstand, or chunk of it, or breaking it down, we're going to play with rising the left and then the right, whichever leg you want to play with rising first. Holding it, feeling the feeling of flight a little bit, and then walking it back down, child's pose, and then back up. Okay, so come to your earth, put your feet up, walk, walk, walk in till you feel your hips begin to lift, and then bring that leg up, and then the opposite leg, maybe hop in 2 more times, creating more height and length. And then back down. Child's pose, up. And then we're going to do it again on the other side. Put your head down on the ground, and always keep your hands at this, because it will keep this rooting, this foundation. But keep them where you can see all your fingers and toes. So you're like this actually on the mat. You're looking at your fingers and your toes. It's going to create that alignment for your headstand. Okay, now let's go up again. Walking her feet in. I forgot what leg I lifted. I think it was the left, so I'm going to lift the right. Hop in a couple little hops. Feeling that lift. And then returning everything to center. Child's pose. Chin to chest. Roll up. No need for dizziness. And there you go, a little feeling of flight, a little bit of a lift in that headstand. Then, if you are practicing at home and you don't feel safe, you really, really, really want to try it, go to a wall. The wall is your best friend. Because then hopefully, if you do tip over, the wall will catch you. If you do tip over and you don't have a wall, tuck your chin, do a somersault, get out of it. So, the full version would be, so like I said, you would just keep playing with that baby hop, and then you get your knees both feet up at once. And then you just breathe and headstand. Or you can baby hop, and then just play with one leg at a time in the air. Whichever way you want to do your headstand, it doesn't matter. And actually in yoga there are like 8 different versions of headstand. So we can go through all the different versions of headstand. This is just playing with drills to get ourselves even up. But you can experiment and play if you ever want to. You can do all 8 versions. It's endless fun for inversions. So let's begin and do our last version of headstand. This is just your traditional headstand. It would be the first version of the 8. We're going to work ourselves up. We're going to kick, 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 and bring ourselves up. Hold it. Breathe. And then here you're going to want to bring those inner thighs together. You're going to want to strengthen that core. Hold it in tight. Root your hands into the earth. Make those same shelf stables that you made when you were doing crow. That 95-degree bend in your elbows. Maybe even point your elbows in towards each other a little bit to give your shoulders a little bit more work, your triceps and your traps. And now push down on the earth with effort if you are here to get that weight out of your head. The weight should actually be more in your hands than your head in the headstand. Then come down 1 foot at a time. Don't crash down. Be nice to your feet. Go into child's pose. This time stay there a little bit longer, only because if you invert it all the way, your blood needs to go back, I think. I don't know. I don't know why we get dizzy when we're in headstands if we come up too fast. But that is a full version of your traditional headstand that you would see in any yoga practice or studio. And then the last flying, or it's not even flying, the last inversion that you all know is handstand. So handstand basically is you're going to do what you just did on your head, standing. And then hands on the earth as if they were your feet, and no head on the ground, and then you're going to pop up. So you can do those same drills. You can start in handstand. You can start by just bringing your hands to the earth, and then playing around, walking in until you start to feel that lift, kicking the leg up, and hopping like a little lever. And then switching sides, hop. And you'll notice one side of your body is stronger than the other. And one side is way weaker than the other. So you can play with baby hops. You can do 1 foot or 2 foot hops. I don't know any other types of tricks to get you into handstand beyond what we did, breaking it down for headstand. And just applying it with your hands on the mat and not your head. And then for that too, if you have a person to spot you, if you have a wall, the wall is your best friend. And always engage your core, always engage the supporting muscles, Find that strength and stability and balance first. Then go into your version of the pose, whatever that might be. And I have too many dogs around me right now, but we're going to use the wall as my friend as the prop. So I'm going to come over here. Hopefully you guys can still see me. I'm going to set myself up for a headstand. I mean handstand. Good God. I'm going to walk into the wall. And I'm at an angle. And then you're going to work on kicking. And you don't want to be too close to the wall, because if you are, you're going to kick it, and they're going to end up bouncing back off. Move it, baby. And then that's going to like defeat the purpose of getting up in the actual handstand, because so you have to actually leave a little bit of room for your back body on the wall. Come on, Nick, move. I'm just going to move my mat so I'm straight and not crooked. And I think you can still see it. Okay, so we're going to set up, and I'm crooked. We're like OCD. Putting our hands into the earth. This time, instead of having that degree bend, that shelf, you're keeping your traps and your arms and your biceps and triceps and your wrists locked almost. Not really your elbows locked, but like those muscles firing, engaged. You're rooting your hands into the earth, almost like kitty cat claws, grabbing the earth first. Then from here, you're just going to basically walk up until you can't get up anymore because of your hip flexion. And then here you can just play with the rocking motion to get yourself up. You're feeling the weight of your body over your shoulders. And after that, you can play with one leg up, and another leg up, and then down. You can do it the opposite way. You can start out in Superman on the wall. So walking your feet up your wall. And then I'm too far out. Playing with lifting a leg, then another leg. Instead of kicking up into your handstand, and I was way too far away from the wall. So you gotta come in a little bit closer. Find your wall. Whoops, and not knock yourself over. Now I'm still too far away from my hand. But just play and just hold. This is a handstand. Not very pretty. Not in very good spine alignment. Come down. Or you can play with it by kicking up. So that same idea of Superman, but now you're going to kick up into it. Or press up. Whatever you want to call it. Place your hands into the earth. Walk in as far as you can with that hip flexion. Raise one leg, and the other. And then play with that jumping, that little hopping. Play with it. And see if you can get yourself up. And it's hard to judge where you need to be. Have the faith and find that wall. And I'm bending out at my elbows because I'm not strong anymore. I haven't practiced enough. But it just goes to show you that will help you build strength. It has been forever since I've done handstands, and I can tell I've lost my upper body strength. So for that, continue to build your core, continue to build your traps, your biceps, triceps, a lot of down dogs, a lot of chaturangas will get you that upper body strength that you need to get into hold a handstand. So for mine, I'm not going to kick up into it because I'm not strong anymore, and that's okay. It's my journey. I'm honoring it. I'm moving on. I'm living through it. Okay, and then this is like an L at the wall. One leg. And then if I didn't have a dog right next to me, or maybe if I had a teacher or a friend with me, I could let go and be in the full pose. But you can just stay here and feel that strength. Sorry, I knew it would scare the dog. That is handstand. So, with even that baby practice, I've just kicked my own ass. I have not done inversions forever. They are my favorite. I have lost so much strength, and I need to practice more. I can tell it, but it felt good. An inversion, I once had someone tell me like back bends make you happy, and I don't know why. So I don't know if it's really an inversion or not. It might be because your knees are above your head. But like even if you're a kid and you're playing around with a yoga ball and you just lay over it and extend everything out long, you sit back up. Like all of a sudden you can't sit up and not smile. So to me, kind of that's how an inversion is. Like I cannot go upside down and not be happy and not smile. Right now, I can't breathe, which is crazy because I was holding my breath the entire time. So that is another trick of inversions. Hold your muscles, but don't hold your breath, because holding your breath will not aid and assist your practice. It actually makes you a lot weaker because you're not getting that oxygen fueling your muscles. So I hope those little tricks helped you, inspired you to do inversions in your own practice. And then for a cool down, I'm just going to have us grab, if you have a yoga wheel or blocks, I'm going to use, well, a wheel, you can do it on a wheel, or you can do it on blocks. We're going to set our blocks up like on that little balance beam again. One last time. But this time on our balance beam, we're going to be in low bridge. Whoa. By walking our legs out in front, one leg at a time. Full body stretch. Oh my God. And this probably feels so good because you're stretching your hip flexor. We're finally letting go of that control in our core and our abs. Stretching everything back out. Bring your foot back in. Repeat on the opposite side. Lay here and linger here for as long as you'd like. And if this hurts your back, or it doesn't feel good to you, for a different type of stretch in our abs, get off your blocks and just sit in space pose. Just let it all go. Stretch out your core again. Root your hip flexors into the earth. And just breathe. Find your breath. Begin to let your heart rate settle. And here too, just sit and observe and don't judge. Yoga's fun. It doesn't have to be all serious. You can always do things intuitively. Your body is your best teacher. And since we have done so much core work, when we go into Shavasana, just to regroup and recenter, you can take your favorite version of the pose. Maybe instead of laying down for Shavasana, you want to do the fire log pose. You want to be sitting up. You want to just ground and connect and center. Or you can just lay in plain old Shavasana and just relax and let it all go. And since we did do a lot of hip opening actually too, with our kicking and inversions, not really opening, it's more like flexion than not. And some opening when we were in crow. I'm just going to do a half fire log pose, just sit here. And I'm just going to close down my eyes for a few moments and a few breaths. Reground, recenter. Maybe close down your eyes. Maybe repeat that word, that mantra, that affirmation that you found at the beginning of the practice. Sit here in silence. And then wherever you're at, if you have been laying down Shavasana, I invite you to begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, awakening your body, coming back to your practice, coming back to the here and the now. If you're sitting up, I invite you possibly to roll your neck, maybe roll your fingers and shoulders, putting some warmth and awakeness back into that body. Bringing your hands to heart center if you're seated up. If you're laying down, I invite you to roll over to your favorite side, pausing for a moment, cradling your head upon your arms, bringing your knees into your chest. Maybe repeating that affirmation one last time. Then sitting up and joining us with eyes closed. Keeping your eyes closed. Maybe bringing your chin to the tips of your fingers. In prayer position. And just closing this practice with one deep community breath. Breathing in. And breathing it out forcefully. Just letting your practice go. Letting the day go. And as always, thank you for joining me with this practice. I hope it made you curious. I hope it inspired you to try some inversions on your own. And you can add on many more poses into your own yogic journey. And I invite you to explore and be playful with your practice. And as always, namaste.